Have you ever wondered what happens when we die? Will we cease to exist? Will we become ghosts haunting the attic of our old house? Will we be reincarnated as some other creature? The world is filled with ideas about what happens to us when we die. The good news is, we don't just have to guess, because the Bible tells us both where we came from and where we are going. It traces the journey of the soul of man from beginning all the way to eternity. The soul of man actually does not begin here on earth, but in heaven. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 9 calls God the Father of spirits. And Ecclesiastes 12:7 states that when we die, the soul or spirit returns to God who gave it. So, at the moment of conception when a human life is created, God places a soul or spirit into that new body. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 1 refers to our bodies as tents, or in other words, very temporary dwelling places. In the moment our soul departs from the physical body is when we die. As James 2:26 says, "The body without the spirit is dead." The psalmist wrote, "The days of our lives are 70 years, and if by reason of strength they are 80 years, yet their boast is only labor and sorrow. For it is soon cut off, and we fly away." But where do we fly to? According to Jesus in Luke chapter 16, all souls who die, good or bad, go to a place called Hades. It's kind of a waiting place for disembodied spirits. Many people are confused by this because they think of Hades as the dwelling place of the wicked. But Jesus tells us that Hades is divided into two sections. One is called Paradise. This is the place where the faithful go. It's the place that Jesus told the thief on the cross that he would go in Luke 23:43. The other section of Hades is known as torment. It is a place of suffering and punishment and the destination where all of the wicked go as they await judgment. When we die, all of our souls will remain in one of the sides within Hades, awaiting the resurrection in the final day of judgment. On that day, Jesus says, all who are in the graves will hear his voice and come out. Those who have done good to the resurrection of life, and those who have done evil to the resurrection of damnation. Then, both the righteous and the wicked will be gathered before God for the pronouncement of their judgment. At that time, God will reward the righteous by calling them to heaven, a place of eternal comfort and bliss. But the wicked will be sentenced to hell, described as a place of punishment and eternal fire. He will separate people one from another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will place the sheep on his right, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world." Then he will say to those on the left, "Depart from me, you cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. And these will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life." The most important question then is, where do you want to spend eternity? Where you go when you die depends on what you are doing while you live. Jesus said, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father in heaven." If you're interested in a more in-depth study of what happens to us when we die, or a study on how to be saved from hell, please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you.